Good morning to everybody. How you doing? Hope all's well. Keep up the beautiful work. Today is Tuesday, Parashat Vayetze Yaakov, and we are continuing the holy words of the Pele Yoetz. We are in the letter Chet, the subject of Chochma, wisdom. If you don't have wisdom, you don't have anything. Shema Yisrael. We are in the Hebrew book on page 234, Resh Lamed Daled, in the Hebrew English Art Scroll. Volume 2, we are on page 186. V'yesh de'ot nifsadot she'enam rotzim liyagea et atzmam. There are people that want the Uber Eats lifestyle. They don't want to exert themselves. Be'omram halo ikar esek haTorah. What is the greatest part of the Torah? That a person learns and then they do the actions. Baruch haomer ve'oseh. Right? So that would mean that if you delve too much into the Torah, it sounds like, God forbid, someone might get his Yetzer Hara to tell him, why do that? If I could do the surface, I'll do so many halachot and I'll do what I learn about. Hu kedei lishmor v'lasot ulkayim. Therefore, in that kind of situation, we could just learn the cliff notes of the halacha, as they have those books out there, computers for dummies, has v'halila, maybe halacha for people that want the easy way out. However, like I said, if somebody who is listening to this and says far away in Wisconsin that he doesn't have the capabilities of delving into the halacha and doing it the way he's supposed to, so they might say to themselves that the rabbi said no kitzurim, I shouldn't take the cliff notes. If somebody is on the level of not going deep, 100% they should learn the cliff notes style, the easier books. But if someone is like you, where you have a very huge mind, Baruch Hashem, and you're able to go Oker Harim, you're able to remove mountains with your wisdom, then you should most definitely not take the Uber Eats approach. V'lo tzadku bazeh, ti'adua dehadeh kutsha berichu bepilpula. Hashem loves when the people delve into the Torah. Now we have to do it in a way, Batya explains, that we're going to get to the outcome. If someone's just going to learn one word of the Rambam for an entire week and there's no halacha that comes out of it and no significance, of course that's the greatest thing as well, but it would be better if you could use your pilpul to be able to learn the Torah and come out with the halacha, Chacham Batya style. Yesterday we mentioned about Batya's book, and yallah, it's worthwhile. We mentioned the Sefer Yavia Omer, right? It makes Wikipedia look like a Snapple cap. That's how much information is in the book. So if that's too hardcore for you, he has another book that's recommended to be studied, and that's called Yahaveh Da'at. That was a radio show that when Batya was chief rabbi, he would be on the radio, right? Not on Z100. He would be on the Israeli radio. They would call up with questions, and he would give them an answer on the spot and rattle off. So it's not like the big, huge encyclopedia. You can't rattle that off to someone on the other end of the receiver and the people listening to the radio. However, so he made an abridged version. And if somebody can't learn that, then of course there's Hazon Ovadia, the rabbi's book, where it teaches us the halacha on what to do at each time, and that's extremely important now. Batya says if the person only says he only has a little time to learn every day, so in a joking manner, but it's more real than real, we tell them to learn Musar. Why? Because then you'll realize you have a lot more time than you think you have. But if a person really, really, really doesn't have time to learn, he only has a little time to learn, he's really, really working. Not staying in the office, Googling and watching all kinds of videos. He really, really doesn't have the time. then Batya says you learn the halacha, because that's the actions that you have to do. You'll know halachot Shabbat if you learn the laws of Shabbat, etc. If someone delves into halacha, mishaber koach hakilipa, he destroys Esav. He destroys the evil, the impurity that's in the world. These are deep concepts in the world of the halacha, but in short, when you remove the kernel from the chaff, when you dress up a bride, meaning to say that's the creme de la creme. There is no end to his reward. Hine kiken misha halano Hashem dat ra'ui lo lidchok v'likanes b'mufla mimenu. If Hashem gave a person wisdom, which is all of you listening and here this fine morning, then you have to go. You can't just settle. You can't become a Rocky if you're just going to lift heke weights. You got to go you got to go a step above and beyond. With the sweat of thy brow. Why does the Torah say that? That's regarding work. But over here the rabbi is saying you got to roll up your sleeves and pick up the pace. Yom liyom yosif da'at. You keep adding more and more chokhmah and wisdom to your repertoire, as they say. Until you're able to understand davar mitoch davar, one thing from another. Veladun davar mi davar ad sheyeh ra'ui liot moreh horaot b'Yisrael. Until you get to the level, believe it or not, of giving halacha to those people out there. Now, there are some people that just want to sound in Wisconsin like they're poskim, and they'll just say yes, yes, no, no, has v'halila. Thank goodness the rabbis that we have sit down and they study and they prepare and they do what they're supposed to. And like we said, if you have the time, delve into the halacha all the way from the Gemara all the way to the final halacha. But if someone doesn't have the time, then of course we do the books that we mentioned. I hope everyone has the greatest day. Keep up the excellent work. If you're traveling, be safe. If you're here, be safe and be successful in all your endeavors. Have the best day. Take care. Bye.